You are interested in the unknown, the mysterious, the unexplainable. That is why you are here, my friend. Can your heart stand the shocking facts about
Ascent of Mount Carmel YouTube channel? This channel is devoted to the book Ascent of Mount Carmel by St. John of the Cross. The book is considered a landmark in mystical theology. St. John of the Cross purports to provide the reader with a handbook or a guide to divine union with God and to enlightenment. You might be thinking, well, I tried Christianity and I didn't get that much out of it.
Come on, I'm not even going for it.
Well, if you did, I can guarantee you that it's because you didn't receive proper spiritual direction. Please check my YouTube channel and look for the video on spiritual direction. If you have the commitment and the proper spiritual direction, I can guarantee you that you'll make spiritual progress. The purpose of this video is to provide a comparison with Transcendental Meditation as taught by Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. I do not claim to be an expert on the teachings of Maharishi. My purpose for this video is to persuade the viewer and listener to read the book Ascent of Mount Carmel, to give it a try. I'll try to be even-handed here based on my understanding of the teachings of Transcendental Meditation. If the viewers feel that I have erred or misstepped in this, please feel free to give a comment below. Before we talk about the differences in the two systems taught by the two men, let's talk about what they have in common. Both systems claim to be based on natural law. Both systems involve the use of repeated mantras or prayers. Now let's do some contrasting. In terms of simplicity, I'd have to give Transcendental Meditation the nod here. Transcendental Meditation is more simple.
And John said, "You mean that simple?" And Maharishi said, "That simple."
Maharishi said that meditation was easy and effortless to do and produced immediate effect.
What about adhering to a strict moral code? With Ascent of Mount Carmel, one would need to do so. With Transcendental Meditation, it does not seem to be as significant. So here again, Transcendental Meditation has the nod. It's easier to do.
The beauty of becoming a teacher, and particularly for young people during the 60s, was that you didn't have to tell anybody to change their way of life. There were no do's and don'ts that we were teaching.
What about indifferentism? With the Ascent of Mount Carmel, the practitioner must follow a very narrow path. Transcendental Meditation has adopted indifferentism and embraces all faiths, much in the same manner of Freemasonry. So here again, Transcendental gets the nod. It's easier to practice.
Because many of our people who meditate are also going to church.
He wanted to do something that would apply to every single religion, tradition, culture, language of everybody who's ever born in the world, now and in the future, that could help them. And so that is a universal level of knowledge. Not that I belong to this one channel or this one tradition. Universality has always been Maharishi's approach.
What about avoiding suffering? St. John of the Cross teaches in Ascent of Mount Carmel that one should embrace suffering, while Transcendental Meditation teaches that suffering is something that should be avoided. Here again, Transcendental Meditation sounds more attractive.
Very soon we are going to have our world rise above suffering. 2,000-year-old suffering has been enough for the world, and now no more.
The object of life is happy living.
Let's look at cost. An introductory course to Transcendental Meditation will likely cost you about $2,500.
At $2,500, learning Transcendental Meditation isn't cheap.
If you want to follow St. John of the Cross through Ascent of Mount Carmel, the cost is free. Just go to the About section on my YouTube channel page and you'll see a link to a PDF document of the book Ascent of Mount Carmel. Well, here, Ascent of Mount Carmel finally has a check mark. It has the nod. It's less expensive. Both St. John of the Cross and the Maharishi Yogi took vows of celibacy. It was alleged that he violated his vow of celibacy and groped Mia Farrow. In all fairness, he denies the charges. It doesn't show up on Mia Farrow's Wikipedia page. It seems Mia Farrow's sister continued with Transcendental Meditation. However, the allegation is what estranged John Lennon from the Maharishi Yogi. No such accusation was ever made against St. John of the Cross. Both men were considered ascetics. However, it appears that the Maharishi Yogi did indulge in certain luxuries. St. John of the Cross took a vow of poverty, and by all evidence, he remained in severe poverty and practiced extreme asceticism.
The Beatles made Maharshi the most famous guru on earth.
In the last installment of Ascent of Mount Carmel, we discussed pride and how it's a major stumbling block towards spiritual enlightenment. There was a quote cited by David Jones of the Maharishi where he said, "If at all, the Beatles became substantial by my contact. I did not become great by association of the Beatles. Beatles make Maharishi great? Pah! It is a waste of thought." If this quote is accurate, it suggests that at least on one occasion the Maharishi lacked humility. If pride is not a stumbling block toward enlightenment in Transcendental Meditation, it certainly is so under Ascent of Mount Carmel. And that brings us to the question. Under Transcendental Meditation, I don't dispute that a new practitioner can make progress. From a clean slate, he or she can achieve relaxation. The Maharishi in the 1960s promised his followers that with Transcendental Meditation they would someday be able to levitate. However, it seems that the best that they could ever do was yogic hopping, which is bouncing on mats. St. John of the Cross, however, really could levitate. There are many witnesses that when he was caught up in holy things, he did indeed raise off the ground. He's not unique among ascetics in having this occurred. Now, certainly St. John of the Cross doesn't promise practitioners that they will be able to do this. Reading Ascent of Mount Carmel can give you things much greater than relaxation and bouncing. If Transcendental Meditation can get you to point A to point B, Ascent of Mount Carmel can take you to points C, D, E, and well beyond. I urge you to read Ascent of Mount Carmel by St. John of the Cross. You have nothing to lose, and it can change your life. May God bless you.